Hello everyone, Mazadun is here. So as I promised, I'm making video about my impressions about Italy. I would like to start with the transfer, and there was a situation with getting visa to Italy and with flight tickets. Also, this company, I'm not going to name it, so it fucked it up a bit. Instead of straight transfer from Moscow to Geneva, we had with my flight had a flight with my girlfriend. We had a transfer from Moscow to Rome, from Rome to Milan, and from Milan we had to take a car and drive it for about 3 hours. This was a bit disappointing, but overall this did not spoil my impression about Italy, because this is all things happen. To start with the difference between Italy and Russia, which I noticed in a plane. So if you will look closer to the window while you driving in a plane over the Russia, you will notice that there is a lot of forests. While in Italy there is a lot of fields, and actually these fields they are producing stuff. So for example, I was amazed they are growing rice in some parts of the Italy. So this is unusual because rice is an Asian thing, and they are trying to use their territories as much as they can, because in Russia uh, we don't actually give a fuck about our great territories, because we are not using it in any smart way. We have a Moscow. This is just a country inside the country, because basically Russia, it's a whole other story, and this is very different from the rest of the Russia. While in Italy this is not the case. Uh, they're trying to use it as much as they can, and even though they have a lot of mountains in Italy, there is not that much of a flat surfaces. They're also trying to use it as much as possible. They're trying to build homes on the mountains, and this is really nice, because this country is not that big, of course, relatively to in comparison to Russia, obviously, but they are doing their best. This is what amazed me a lot. So as I said, they're growing stuff, and for the most part this is agricultural stuff. While in Russia it's a rare thing to see the fields when we are growing something, especially in the central area of Russia. In Italy they are growing stuff and producing from it products. And these products are very high quality, and this comes in a taste of the products, because if you will take same products such as milk in Russia and milk in Italy, this is a completely different story. Meat in Russia and meat in Italy, also completely different story. And I just can't, I really can't just compare it, because it's a whole other level. We are not even close to the Italy level of quality of products. So this is a shame, but it is how it is. So actually how it's happening. For the most part, from what I understand it, they're producing stuff right after they're delivered. So since this city, not city, sorry, this country is not that big, there is a lot of producers, owners of the firms, which they're producing stuff and delivering it to shops, where in shops it's usually cooked or prepared at the night, and at the start of the working day they are selling just freshly made stuff. So basically their products can be contained for too long because it will spoil, but since they're well made and they taste good, I just can't imagine that some type of a bread called focaccia will just, will be uneaten for about few days. This is just not happening. How they're working, it's also very interesting, and they have their own shops, and usually the shops are family shops, so they're not employing someone from from other families, and especially they are not employing immigrants. As far as I know and how other told me it, they are not employing immigrants because they have to pay taxes for it. So while you employing your family member, you don't have to pay any taxes. As far I think I'm correct about it. While in Russia this is not the case for any type of a dirty work, let's say like a cleaner, we usually employ immigrants. So for the most part, it's Tajiks. It's from Asian part of our not our country, from Asian part of region, and most I would say the example I can give you, it's like Mexicans in America. Yes, I think it's so. I heard from someone who lived in America and now live in Russia that Tajiks in our country, this is immigrants like Mexicans in America. They are doing all the dirty work, and since they don't have any rights, and sometimes they are not in our country illegally, they can actually protect their rights, and this creates some situations when they are working without their passports and just receiving small amounts of salary, and they just have to do this. But there is one dynamic, since after got hit with the sanctions, we get some flow back to Asian part of the region of Tajiks and immigrants because salaries actually got cut. I think I saw only few times immigrants who are working in Italy, and this is not like regular work in the shops or whatever. They were going around the shore and selling some fake luxury items such as bags or I don't know, some type of luxury clothes like Dolce & Gabbana and stuff. So this is about a few times I saw immigrants working some way. So about their lifestyle, it's in Italy it's kind of slow. I feel like it because for the first few days in Italy, after I traveled here from Russia, I felt like I'm in the matrix. I'm moving too slow because in Russia we are moving very fast, and our lifestyle is very fast, and we're always running somewhere. This is the case. In Italy, this is not happening. In Italy, they are very relaxed, and they don't give a shit about like getting additional profits, since they have this part of the day called siesta. I think it's correct word if I'm not mistaken. So during this it's about 4 hours, and it starts from 1 o'clock up to 4 o'clock, and during this time they're actually not working. They can take a walk or go to the beach and swim in the sea or whatever, or just go to home and sleep there, and after this return to work and start working again. While I just can't imagine this happening in Russia. This is just this is absurd. Yes, as I said, their lifestyle is kind of slow. Probably in Rome and Milan this is a difference, since this is a like big tourist cities. Yeah, I'd say that Milan in some way is similar to Moscow in some way. I've been there for about a few hours, but since there is a lot of foreigners, because this is a tourist city, there is a lot of foreigners, and this, Milan, it's like a different city from whole Italy, I'd say. This is just my opinion. Also, one thing which I really liked in Italy, that their elder generation, they are actually very active in their lifestyle, because in Russia we can just see our elders in some type of hospitals in metro and at earlier times because they are traveling from I don't know, from their place they are living somewhere else, but you know, they are not actually living active, they are not enjoying their lives, because what they are doing, it's for the most part sitting at home watching TV, or you know, this is just very passive way of life. While in Italy, they're active, they're swimming, they're, you know, riding in the scooters. There's a lot of scooters. I will get to this later. They're singing karaoke. I was very amazed when I decided to take a walk at the evening along the way, along the beach. And there is a numerous cafes and pizzerias. So, and there was the old elder generation, and they were singing, dancing, all the stuff. So this is so cool. I really like it, because in our country, elder generation is kind of, you know, like they're not enjoying their life, like, but rather they're trying to survive, and they're very sad. I think so. So also one thing about Italy, that this is a very compact city. They have a very compact city. Streets here are pretty small, so they have a very small cars, like mini cars. They're using a lot of scooters. This is a very important thing, because, you know, I'd say that amount of cars and amount of scooters kinda even. This is very important. Also, since the streets are pretty small, this is because they are not, you know, destroying the older buildings and building new ones, like skyscrapers. They are not doing it. They're just trying to keep these old buildings and restore them. They explained me one thing, that previously they have type of a villa. It's a building with a territory, and this is a pretty big building. This building have like a few bathrooms and etc. And since they have to pay taxes, and nowadays their family not so big, they started to sell these villas and build some type of a building with apartments, you know, like in one building, numerous families living here instead of one, as it was before. This is also, like, you know, a dynamic of nowadays. As I said, they're trying to restore their older buildings, and they're very cautious about it. Even, you know, they are not using air conditioning in their buildings, because they do not want to break, you know, like a picture of the city, of its elderness, of its, you know, not ancient, but, you know, like a old city. And yes, this is why they are not using air conditioning. So overall, I really like Italy. This is a very interesting country. I've been there for about 2 weeks, and no, I've been like a lazy son of a bitch, having a sunbath and stuff, but I didn't actually see anything in terms of historical places. This is unfortunate. Probably next time I will visit Rome or something like this type of cities where there is actually something to see. But you know, some of my friends and family members asked me one thing: is it possible for me to live there? So I've been thinking about it, and I say that no, this is impossible for me. First of all, nice, my doggy. So first of all, this is because I don't know Italian language. So best thing I know, it's a pizza, pasta,
nigga, chow, shit.
like, you know, ciao, grazie, arrivederci, buongiorno, and this type of stuff, like regular. But so first of all, you need to understand their language and to speak it well, because as I said, there's not that much of Italian speaking English. I was amazed by that. Also, there is actually hard to find a workplace for you because, as I said earlier as well, they tend to employ their own family members instead of in foreigners or immigrants. Yeah, probably if the YouTube were the thing, and I was making a lot of money from it, you know, like everyday full-time job, probably it was possible, but this is just a hobby. This is in terms of work. Also, lifestyle, also pretty slow. I don't think I would ever will adapt to this, because just, you know, first few days were very slow, and you know, I like, wow, so much time, what to do. This is why for the most part throughout 2 these weeks I've been on the beach. Still, even though you know, there is no that big of a cultural borders nowadays as it was, like, you know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Still, you will be a foreigner there, as you know, any foreigner in Russia, same thing, and you will be a stranger to these places. You don't actually belong to this culture. It's nice to learn it. It's nice to, you know, to explore it, to taste something new, but to live there, it's actually, I think, psychological will be hard. So this is my impression about Italy. Hopefully you found it interesting, this difference between Russia and Italy. If you have any questions, or probably you've been in Russia and you've been in Italy and you have your own opinion about some stuff, let me know it in the comment section below. It's actually very interesting for me to know the other opinions. And once again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this type of a review, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.